I think it's a real shame. I think there's big questions that need to be answered by the Labor Premier Daniel Andrews and by Victoria Police. This is just so strange. Now, Katherine, the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, weighed in this week as well. He said on radio that merely participating in a rally, which he labelled as anti-trans, is really disrespectful of people who are trans. Now, by implication, is the Prime Minister saying that you have no right to hold an event that does anything other than celebrates the idea of gender fluidity, regardless of the consequences to girls and women? What do you say to that, Katherine?
Well, freedom of speech and association and conscience and belief appear to be dead in this country. After what I've seen in the last week, Albo jumping on board, Dan Andrews jumping on board. I mean, Dan Andrews has now turned around and raised the trans flag permanently over the Victorian Parliament. That is a flag. I mean, people need to look into the history of who designed that flag. Is that something you really want to be associated with? And the fact that they clearly haven't listened to women at all, and that you're only allowed to protest or speak publicly if you're on side with these radical gender theories, demonstrates to all of us who have any critical thinking faculties left how powerful, how malignant, how pernicious that ideology is, and that those of us who have the courage to actually stand up and point it out or push back or say, look, these are the harms, these are the group, parents, families, women and girls, freedom of speech, these are all being harmed by this ideology, and that they can turn around and demonise us to the point where a woman is threatened with being thrown out of her political party, receiving death threats. I mean, it's extraordinary, Lyle. These are extraordinary times.
Who would have ever thought Australia came to this? I mean, how naive of the Prime Minister. That flag, as you say, it represents all those things. It also represents putting parents in jail who try and stop a child going and having experimental gender treatment, such as puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and even surgery. That's what that flag represents. Katherine, how does it make you feel to see a strong, intelligent woman like Maura Deeming being demonised by her own party leader, John Pesutto, who is working to have her expelled in this party room showdown due for next Monday at 10 a.m?
Well, Mr. Pesutto had a perfect opportunity to smash back at Dan Andrews, to ask him about why Vic Pol is enabling neo-Nazis in Victoria, why Dan Andrews hasn't done anything about it, why he's turning around and demonising women who are there peacefully instead of condemning the neo-Nazis. And, Maura Deeming had a huge swing against Labor in her electorate. I believe it was the biggest swing in the Victorian election. She was put there by the good people of Western Metro. They sent a very clear message. That is who they wanted to represent them. And to turn around and demonise her like that and threaten her with expulsion, I think it's probably going to backfire. I mean, we are looking to strong leaders who can stand up for the values of protecting women, protecting families, pushing back against these, demented ideologies, and in just falling in line behind Dan Andrews in condemning Maura before he even got the facts, and then going to Wikipedia for his information to demonise someone. I mean, what a misstep. I think, he's just turned it into an entire circus. He should be standing up and showing some backbone.